Today I'm going to share about a revelation that comes from the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 15 to 20. We see the king of Egypt, Pharaoh, gives an order to the midwives of Israel, Egyptians, to kill all the male children. He was threatened and he was in fear of their numbers increasing and greatly multiplying in the land. He was afraid that they would take over and defeat them one day. We know the enemy is threatened by the truth and the place that God has given into our lives. He knows it more than anybody. So he places things around us to threaten us, to make us fearful. But we see in the verse 21 says that the Egyptian midwives did not kill any male child. They feared the Lord. They spared their lives. And the 21st verse finishes by saying, God saw that they feared the Lord and he established them with the families. I wonder whether they had families before, or they were waiting for their breakthroughs, or they were or they were worried about their lives, whether they will settle down, they will get established. But by just doing the right thing, by saving lives, God saw them that they did a right thing, and he favored them and he blessed them in the land and he established them. The fear of the Pharaoh can look like a bad report from the doctors. The fear of Pharaoh can look like stepping into an unknown place where God is calling us to represent him. But we could stop him by our past experiences or knowledge that we gain through people, and we could not let the fear of God operate in us. Fear of God is nothing but the nature of God that brings his purpose into our lives. To do the right thing. Wherever there's fear of the enemy, the fear of God will be absent. So we have to identify where the fear of the systems of the world or the enemy is creeping into our lives that stops the fear of Lord establishing our lives. It could be loving that person who hurt us before. It could be choosing that person who is hurting already, and God is asking us to be that nurse, that midwife, to love them in the way that God wants them to be loved. God cannot love them by coming down. He wants people. He has us to represent his nature, the fear of the Lord through us, to speak to people and to love them to the where they have been hurt or tormented by the fear of the enemy. But God is expecting us to stand in the gap. Is expecting us to come as a rescuer, a Moses, a midwife, to represent his nature to people, to represent the nature of God in the places that we are waiting for, that we can step into the place above and not below by the understanding or the knowledge that we have gained by our past. We had to let go of the fear and come into the place of the fear of God to do something with the Lord, with the nature of the Lord, consistently to do the right thing. In that way, God can establish us, and where his glory can be shown through us. And I hope this message blesses you to move forward and not to be stuck or to be frozen in a place with the fear of the world or the fear of the enemy with his lies. God is very good. He wants to establish you and prosper you. Let the fear of God be your identity. God bless you.